In this episode, we're going to go over doing namespaced URLs using Django's built-in namespacing. Named URLs is a great feature in Django so that you can easily reference URLs without having to hard code them. Unfortunately, sometimes when you deal with third-party apps or even your own applications inside of Django, you can have naming conflicts. To get around this, we usually name them and have some sort of namespacing that we use. But fortunately, Django has a built-in namespace so that we can have more sane named URLs in our application. To get started, we'll look at our project folder and see that we have two applications. We have home and tasks inside of our demo project. If we look in the URLs of our demo project, you see we've included home.urls and tasks.urls on their respective locations. We can look at this in our browser real quick by going to localhost 9000/tasks. And we see that we just have a list of URLs. If we look at our URLs file for tasks, you can see we have an index view and a list view. These would potentially do exactly what they talk about, and they're named index and list. If we look at our home.urls file, it's almost literally the same file. It has all the same things. We have an index view and we have a list view named index and list. This unfortunately causes a naming conflict when we go to look in our browser. If we look at our tasks template, we're calling the URL index and URL list. So what it does is it grabs the last one that is registered with our URLs. So if we look at our browser at tasks, it works. Switch over and look at home, you see we still have tasks and list because index and list last were registered as names with the tasks application. Now normally what we would do in namespacing is we would just do a tasks underscore in our tasks application, and we would do a home underscore in our home, and then we would go into our templates and do the same thing accordingly by just adding the name of our application, generally underscore. This is the very traditional way of doing namespacing that I've seen in a lot of locations. Unfortunately, when you get 100 of these, you get tired of seeing the name of your application underscore whatever, and sometimes it can be inconsistent across applications or across projects. If we go back to look at our page in our home view, we can see that it works normally now. If we go to tasks, we get our tasks as well. In order to do the namespaces, it's not much different. First, we need to delete our homegrown namespace of home underscore and task underscore in both of our applications. And then we go into our demo URLs file and just add to the include function call namespace equals and then the name of our application or whatever we want to call that namespace. Generally, people use the name of the application. So in our case, we're going to use home and tasks. Then we just go into our templates for our tasks and we replace, in this case, the underscore with colon and add s to our tasks. And in home, we just replace the underscore with colon, and that's it. That's how you reference namespaced URLs inside of your application, either in the template or in your views. So now, if we refresh the page on tasks, we still get tasks. If we go to home, it uses home again. Unfortunately, if you remove the namespacing and try to go back and look at that page, it'll actually error out because you need that namespacing there. So if we add that back, but we change one of those to task for the namespace of the tasks list and go to our home page, you see that it actually works properly. And that's it. That's all that there really is to doing namespaced URLs. This helps keep your code a lot more organized and a little more readable. Again, the only thing you really need to do is set the name of your URL in your URLs file for your application. Then when you do the include, you add an extra keyword argument for namespace and give it a namespace. Then when you call a URL or a reverse lookup, you do the namespace name, so home, colon, and then whatever the named URL is that you want to reference.